Tap like to sweep obstacles from your path, and tell me your zodiac sign in the comments. Your engagement tunes this forecast precisely to you. Hey Brotwi, this is your Scorpio reading for 23 October. Scorpio, being ordinary, and you know it. Even in silence you felt something vast within you, a depth that rarely shows and a power you've learned to carry in shadow. On 23 October, that inner force quietly awakens. It's not a stormy day, but a hushed one. And in that stillness, you'll hear what you couldn't before. You may suddenly sense, what once had power over me no longer does. Not because the past vanished, but because you are no longer the same person. Today, you reclaim the right to be yourself. To be yourself. Scorpio isn't about appearances. It's about the truth that lives within. Noise outside doesn't rattle you when you're peaceful inside, and the reverse is true as well. You don't do halfway, and you don't live in the land of almost. Life now invites you to stop lying to yourself, because from here on out, only the real will do. You may have held your emotions back, swallowed tears, laughed when you were hurting, and pretended everything was under control. But now comes a moment to exhale, not to give up, to release. What you've been gripping has long since stopped helping you grow. 23 October grants you permission to be honest, first of all with yourself. You might admit that you're tired, that you want love, to be truly seen and heard, to feel needed. That's not weakness, it's courage. Those meant to stay will remain. The rest will drift away, and that's fine. There's no longer room for randomness in your life. You may notice changes in your body, tension easing, or, for a moment, surging like a wave. Both are normal. You're undergoing an internal recalibration. What used to feel familiar no longer resonates. What used to blend into the background suddenly rings loud and clear. Don't dismiss it. In such moments, a new version of you is born. Braver, you are like water, your strength is adaptability. You can flood and you can heal. You can dissolve what's stale and revive what matters. You know how to survive in emptiness. But it's time to do more than survive. It's time to live. You're ready, even if you doubt it, life already believes in you. Encounters on 23 October can shift much. Someone may arrive unexpectedly, someone else may fade out. Don't cling. Everything is happening exactly as it should. Some people come for love, some for lessons, some to wake you up, and some to stay. You'll know it not with logic, but with your heart, which guides you more accurately today than ever. If you're in a relationship, pay attention to what you truly feel. Not what you're supposed to feel, but what is actually there. Is there ease, a desire to be closer, or are you playing a role to avoid disruption? This day can pivot the path, but only if you're brave enough to be honest. If you're single, this is not loneliness, it's a clear space before the new. You may sense an approach, not yet a face or a name, but a presence. It's not fantasy, it's magnetism. Scorpios perceive these currents with exquisite sensitivity. Trust your intuition. At work, ask yourself, where am I losing myself? Where did I stop feeling alive and become a function? You're capable of more, but habit taught you to endure. Today, you might decide you're done trading your soul for stability, that growth matters more than staying stuck. The instant you own this truth, opportunities you couldn't see before begin to reveal themselves. This is a quiet day that shifts your life's axis from within. If you listen carefully, you'll sense something that won't return, and something else that finally comes back, you, to yourself. If everything feels too much at times, you might default to looking strong, insisting you're fine and will handle it eventually. On 23 October, you're allowed to admit it's heavy, not because you're weak, but because you've been strong for too long. Now it's time to be gentle with you. You know how to hide your wounds, how to keep moving even while everything inside seems to crumble. But why carry it alone? Who said you must? Life whispers, there's another way, softer, supported, warmer. You don't always have to be the one who holds everyone else. Sometimes you need to hear, I'm here, and today that reassurance may come from within or from an unexpected source. The world echoes back when you show up as your authentic self, without masks, without armor, simply present. Old themes may resurface, memories, conversations, unfinished feelings. It can sting, but this isn't punishment, it's cleansing. A farewell to the past so you can make room for what's next. Scorpio's gift is transformation. You don't just endure pain, you refine it into power. You don't simply lose, you create anew. You don't only suffer, you learn to love more deeply. On 23 October, you can do what felt impossible before. Offer yourself forgiveness for mistakes and frailties, for staying too long or leaving too soon. Everything brought you here. And here is a beginning. You may realize you're exhausted by masks, by being normal, by living under shoulds. You might want silence or to roar, to exist without explanation or performance. You are not for everyone, but you are real, and that is enough. Many Scorpios will choose to step back from the noise and stop reacting. That's wisdom. You're not abandoning the world, you're returning to yourself. And when you're rooted in you, you can finally notice the signs life keeps sending, hidden in small things, a glance, a word overheard, a familiar song, a dream that feels too vivid to dismiss. Don't ignore these signals. Your sensitivity today is strength, not fragility. Those who fear their feelings run from them. You face yours. If you're in crisis, don't panic. It isn't the end, it's a passage. This is how an old self dies. The one who tolerated, stayed silent, complied. A new self is born. The one who chooses you, even if it's scary or painful or uncertain. Trust that what's ahead is brighter because you're different, and when you change, everything shifts. If you're partnered, notice whether being with this person makes life lighter, or whether you must constantly contort yourself to avoid rejection. Realization may arise. You're done earning love. You want to be loved as you are. That's mature love. If you're single, resist filling the space out of need. You're becoming whole, and soon someone will be drawn not to your lack, but to your completeness. Career and momentum will evolve. If you felt out of place, acknowledge it now. You don't have to burn bridges, but you can stop looking away. You deserve more, and you're ready. Believe not just in luck, but in yourself. A bold idea or image may arrive on 23 October, too big, too strange, too daring. That's the sign. It's your compass and the start of a new path. Don't discard it. Capture it, map it, or simply trust it. Your intuition isn't fantasy, it's navigation. I.e. Bright evening on 23 October, expect a powerful pocket of quiet. You may feel alone, but it isn't loneliness, it's a meeting with yourself. Deep, sincere, and perhaps the day's most vital moment. Don't fill it with noise. Stay. The answers live there. The understanding lives there. There you might finally say, I'm proud of me. I carried so much, and now I move toward the light. Your dreams tonight may deliver meaningful symbols. Not direct instructions, but sensations, colors, emotions, codes meant for you, guidance that you're on the right road and being led. You don't have to rush. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't have to be fine. You have the right to feel what you feel, to move at your pace, to be where you are calm. On 23 October, you choose truth over approval. You sit in your quiet not because you've been abandoned, but because you chose to stop and finally hear yourself. You ask, who am I now? Not who I was yesterday, not even who I was this morning, but who I've become after all I've lived, after disappointments and losses, and the silence that held more feeling than the loudest words. You are a person of transformation. You change so deeply that no one notices until you're already new. You don't announce your pain, you grow stronger from it. And today you understand that being stronger doesn't mean being harder, it means being honest. It means letting yourself be fully alive, even if it stings, even if it opens old places, even if it scares you. You don't fear the dark, you've lived there. But now you choose light, not because the dark is evil, but because you no longer need to hide. Your pain is not a label, it's a path. It taught you how to sense the real, to see through illusions, to distinguish love from attachment and closeness from control. You know what loyalty is, and you know what it means to betray yourself to keep a surface peace. Not anymore. You tell yourself, perhaps for the first time in a long while, I will not trade myself for attention, persuasion, or quiet. I am value. I've walked far enough to know I deserve what's true. People are drawn to you because you don't pretend. You don't plaster a smile over a fatigued soul. You don't say it's fine when everything collapses. You watch, you understand, and you transform. That is your depth and magnetism, and it makes you irreplaceable. Not for everyone, but for the ones who can truly see. If you love completely. If you forgive for real. If you go for good. But on 23 October, you don't choose to leave. You choose to return, to yourself, to truth, to a life where feelings aren't constricted but allowed to flow. That's how the authentic arrives. You will remember this day not as a storm, but as a point, quiet, yet powerful. From this moment, you are no longer someone who can be convinced to hush or pressured to endure. From this moment, you are yourself. Brah. If something in these words resonated, it means you're not alone. You are at a point of power, choice, and inner maturity. If you felt support, warmth, or clarity, please like this and share in the comments what spoke to you today. Your words matter, and they carry light to others too.